Parents, we've had a little bit of confusion or just misunderstanding around the learning log that will happen for at-home learning. So I just wanted to point out a few things to maybe help with some clarification. So on August 19th, the district sent an email to everyone explaining the purpose of the learning log. It is a Kansas State Department of Education mandate. It is based on our funding, which is based on attendance. So she gives some great explanation there and even some links out if you are a fact finder and would like to get that information for yourself. They also talk about the daily phone call. We need to have eyes and ears on each child each day, and that's just taking the precaution for safety. It is also a mandate for the State Department, and it's really the purpose is just behind the fact that we are mandated to check in on safety for students and just to make sure that they are learning and ask if there's anything we can do. Okay, so that is the email that will help. If you need that resent, you could email me at hurlaL@usd450.net, and I'd be happy to help. So now let's talk about the learning log. I have my sons shared here, and the learning log is being shared to your student and to you. In a previous video, I had shared that he was signed in on Google Sheets on his school device. And on the iPad, he will stay logged into Sheets, and he just clicks on that app, and the only thing in there is his learning log. So he can edit it on the app, or my husband that will be staying home with them those days for at-home learning could edit on his computer. It doesn't matter. It just needs to happen. So the first page of the learning log, and if it's tricky, I've already kind of reduced here at the Zoom so that I could see more of it because it is tricky. So this is a sample. It shows us the categories on the side, and they kind of stay there. So as I move back and forth, the categories will stay. It also shows us that we would type in. So here's a sample, typing in what happened each of those times and just rounding the minutes. I would round to the nearest quarter hour, kind of like a time card, but whatever you do, it just doesn't have to be exact. I would not worry about it too much. And then as you go, it's going to add for you on the bottom row here. The daily average is 360 minutes. If you're just shy, no big deal. If you're just over, I would suggest you even try to carry those minutes on to the next day if you find that one day takes your kid less time. Okay? So I cannot edit the first page because it's a sample. So you'll notice down at the tab, it even has a lock sign. But it does have the following tabs are the next, well, every week of the whole entire year, just in case. So if I click on this week's, I have Monday grayed out, and then actually my student will be in school. So I'm just going to put in school and in school those first 2 days, and he is good to go. Now Thursday is when he'll be learning at home, and that's when I will make some changes, or my husband or my child can make any of those changes. So the reason it needed to be shared with both you and your student is those count as digital signatures, which is important for our State Department. Okay, so third grade, and I believe I believe everyone will send kind of what it could look like for the day. Now, we know life happens. We also understand that we're all working from a very unique situation. So maybe your child is at daycare. Maybe your child is with grandma. Maybe your child is with an older sibling or something, and so it might not happen in this order. We get it. We absolutely get it. And we also know that kids work at their own pace. I have one child at my house who would take double this every one of those minutes, and then another who would take less. So those are also just suggestions and ideas. So as you go, here are the suggested minutes and then the activities. Now, I would go through here and I could just easily, oops, sorry, wrong thing. I could easily choose to just write those in. It does not have to be a huge departure from what the teacher has. We just cannot put it in the learning log for you per the directions from the State Department. So, here I might have some others. In recess, I can have up to 40 minutes. So you'll notice there are 15 minutes there and 15 minutes there. So we have 30. I might call one of the brain breaks. Brain breaks are so important. So I might even choose the whole 40, and then I could put a brain break somewhere else. I could add several of those things. So I could do the learning space set up. I could do, under writing, I will put the best part of me. ELA is writing, just so you know, English Language Arts, and that's teacher talk. We have to have all kinds of acronyms. And then respond to reading. And I could just add those up as I go. Notice as it goes, it's creating the total for me. So let's say that we're having an extra challenging day at home, or the internet's out, or they have to go to daycare and she's unable to help them because she's also working with some babies or something in her care. I can do it any time of the day and just add it. The students could work, from 7 to 8:30, and I would add that hour and a half in. Let's say there's time on the weekend and we choose to go back. I would just go back to wherever that I pulled that assignment from. If my child is going to do some time on Saturday, I would go back and add it to the day that it was originally assigned. I hope that helps. Because it's a Google Doc, it will automatically save and it will be completely visible to everyone it's shared with. It is shared with the child's teacher. Lori Rand is our office aide. Tanya Halbert is our administrative assistant. They will help us with the attendance piece. The principal, myself, just as a support to the teachers, I helped create them for them. And then anyone else you want to, your child, and then anyone else. So my husband's on here. If we were still going to daycare this year, I might put my daycare provider. If they were going to spend time with my parents, I might put my parents on there so that they can make those adjustments throughout the day. If you have any questions, feel free to contact your classroom teacher, or I'd be happy to provide some support and help with this.